Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about Javier Aguirre. He's a soccer coach. We are team number 11 and it is made up of Andrea, Brian, and Fernanda. My name is Brian and let's start with the presentation. Okay, these are the topics that we are going to talk about. We will start with the background information. Then we will talk about the main qualities of leadership and one of the most important conflicts that the coach has suffered. We will provide some examples to relate the course topics with the experiences of the coach.
Javier Aguirre is a Mexican soccer coach and also a Spanish citizen. He was born in Mexico City on December 1st. He was a soccer player in the 80s and 90s in different Mexican teams. And now he's one of the most outstanding coaches in the country for his national and international achievements. Now, why we choose him? First, we choose soccer because in Mexico it is the most practiced sport in the population. So we believe it will be interesting to analyze this sport and one of the coaches who has been highlighted globally. We choose Javier Aguirre because he has had an outstanding career as a soccer coach in different parts of the world. Among his achievements stand out managing soccer teams in Europe, managing the national Mexican team in two World Cups, and two other national football teams. Mm, in addition, one of the characteristics that allow us to choose him is the fact that despite being involved in several conflicts, he always remained calm to face them. Okay, in 1996, he began his journey as a coach in Atlante Football Club. Due to this success in the team, he was hired by the national Mexican soccer team in 2002, where he did a good job. After coaching the Mexican team, he was hired by European teams, where stands out his work at the Osasuna club, being considered one of the best coaches in Europe. After these events, his success continued, and he managed more teams on that continent. Atlético Madrid, Real Zaragoza, Espanyol, and Leganés Club were some of the teams that he managed. He coached the Mexican national team for the second time and also the Japanese and Egyptian national teams. He is currently managing the Monterrey team in Mexico, where he has already begun to achieve success.
Now we will mention the leadership qualities of the coach. According to his records as a coach, we can argue that Javier Aguirre can be a coach with a laissez-faire type of leadership. He uses this type of leadership because the soccer players who has led in his teams have been professional athletes capable and motivated enough to follow their tasks without supervision. In his interviews, he also mentions that his coaching staff has been very important and that he makes most of the decisions together with them. So he also shows democratic leadership. His leadership, together with the norms and roles that he establishes in his teams, allow the group to achieve the necessary tasks and social cohesion to achieve the objectives. Now, Fernanda will talk a little bit more about these topics.
Leadership qualities. As we know, there are three types of leadership styles: democratic, autocratic, and laissez faire. Javier Aguirre, as coach, has a laissez faire leadership with the players and a democratic leadership with his coaching staff. And also, there are five types of personality, and Javier Aguirre is openness and low neuroticism. Javier Aguirre always sets the behaviors that need in his teams. For example, be in all the trainings, respect opponents, accept the losses, don't fall in provocations or fights, and accept the reality of the game. In general, he also wants everyone to show security, discipline, confidence as a leader in the team. For example, all of this happened when he was the coach in the Espanyol football team. Javier Aguirre is a leader by example. In the professional roles he had is coach, coaching staff, goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and forward. And the social roles, he runs clowns and supporter. He helped to social cohesion. He had a lot of experience with leadership when he had the job as coach in the Spanish team, and he had always teach this to the teams in Mexico when he go back there.
Finally, we will talk about one of the most important conflicts that Javier Aguirre has experienced and related to his personality type, group cohesion, mental health, and leadership styles.
Okay, it was in 2016 while he was managing the Japanese national soccer team. He was sued for being involved in a fixed game in Spain. By winning that game, his team avoided relegation. This accusation caused him to be fired from the Japan Football Club. However, throughout the time of the problem, he showed his personality to face the problem, an excellent emotional balance related to mental health, and his leadership qualities. Okay, speaking of his personality, we can argue that Javier Aguirre has an openness personality, which means that he has the willingness to reflect and take risks. And this can be seen when he accepts jobs in different parts of the world, regardless of the country. And regarding to his conflict, Javier Aguirre showed respect and stability handling the press accusations. Therefore, we can consider that he also has low neuroticism, which means that he's emotionally stable and can handle the emotions properly.
Now, Andrea will continue to tell us more about this conflict and its relation with group cohesion, mental health, and leadership styles.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm going to continue, and I'm going to follow with this presentation. Okay, to continue with this presentation, we're going to talk about the importance that Javier Aguirre of the group of cohesion. He mentioned that it's very important to build a physical and a mentally strong team. What he means by this is that when you are a high level of stress and that any comment from social media, they're always exposed, it can affect any of the players, thus affecting the whole team. Is why working the mental part is the most important to us as a coach. And he always say that the clue is the emotional balance. And even if you are a leadership, you have to have this because it's crucial for him. The major conflict that Javier Aguirre had, it was in 2015, and he was involved in what may have been the biggest conflict of his career, where he was fired by the Japanese soccer national for an accusation of fixing a match in Spain, where he was a coach of Zaragoza, which he always said that was a lie, and he reminded that good grace as the good leader he is and always had to say that all the truth would always be no. And we always only have to wait for the investigation to give him the reason that it happening in 2019, and then they declared him innocent. He always said that it's really important to talk with the truth, even if the truth no is the best for you like a person, but is the best for the team. So now we're gonna move to the last, but we're gonna move to the next. That is a significant phrase from him, and he always mentioned it in every interview that he had, and is the next. The secret in this business is emotional balance. We always had it when we are no wins, and we always have them now that they are. So that means that you have to keep going, work really hard, and you always have to be the best for doing the sport or in the life, and you have to keep working with all the team, because your decision like a person, then it's gonna be like a one decision for all the team. So you have to work with all the team. And then we're gonna move to the last slide. That is a conceptual map that how is Javier Aguirre solve the major conflicts. So he always say that a conflict have a solution, but you have to have these two skills. You have to be a really good leadership, and every leadership have to be mental health. So if you have a mental health, you have to be, and you have to have a really good emotional stability for taking all the decisions. And always the decision is going to have to be the best for the team. And every leadership have a really good discipline with the team, and they have to respect for all the players for your team, the other players for the other team, to the other coaches, to the head coach, and for every person. And always you have to work like a team. That is the one thing that is the most important, because it's something that you can show in the season. So that's the last slide. So we hope that you enjoy this presentation. And if you have like any question, you can send them an email. Thank you for everything. That's it. Thank you.